Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Anne Marie. Today is Friday, December 27th. It is the last Friday of 2024, and so this is my last video of the year. Before I begin, I'd like to thank everyone who subscribed to my channel this year. I'd also like to thank those of you who tune in each week to watch my videos. I truly appreciate your support. Today I'm going to reveal my favorite 24 crime fiction books of 2024. I will reveal them in order of U.S. publication date, and because I love all the books on this list, each has a standalone video or will have a standalone video where I discuss 10 things I love about it. 4 of the titles on this list do not yet have a separate video, but those will be my first 4 videos of 2025. So without further delay, here we go, my top 24 of 2024. The first book on my list is First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. First Lie Wins is about a woman who engages in a cat and mouse con game with her mysterious boss, Mr. Smith, who manages her jobs and her identities. Her name and location change frequently, as do the mark and the con. Because deceitfulness is a major theme of this book, the story keeps readers wondering what is going on. We are reading about a woman who frequently changes her location and her identity, and although we're not quite sure what Evie is playing at with her current mark, we know she's up to something fraudulent. It's this uncertainty that draws us in and keeps us wondering what Mr. Smith is planning and how it's all going to unfold. The second book on my list is The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. The Heiress is a story about the richest woman in North Carolina who, upon her death, leaves her fortune to her adopted son Camden. Camden and his wife leave their modest home in Colorado and travel to North Carolina to handle the massive estate known as Ashby House. While they are there, questions about the infamous heiress come to light. For example, why did all her husbands die under mysterious circumstances? What compelled her to adopt Camden? And is there any truth to the rumors regarding her disappearance as a young girl? Family drama, greed, and murder keep the pages turning in this slow-burn domestic thriller about a toxic family from North Carolina whose dark secrets will absorb you and keep you on edge until the very last page. Number 3 is The Fury by Alex Michaelides. The Fury is a tale about a reclusive ex-movie star, her closest friends, a private Greek island, and a murder. However, this story breaks all the conventional rules for how a mystery should be told. This is not a traditional mystery setup. A baffling crime, followed by an investigation, ending with an ingenious solution with a bit of a twist. No, this is different. This story is erratic, chaotic, disorganized, and it deviates from the standard sequence of events for a mystery novel. But that's what makes it an exciting and unique read. Much of this book is a whodunit. It's a psychological examination of the characters, and throughout the course of the story, we learn about their motivations and what is driving them to behave the way they do. A twisty tale unlike any you've ever heard, The Fury is an atmospheric thriller that will keep you guessing until its shocking conclusion. Number 4 is Everyone on This Train is a Suspect by Benjamin Stevenson. Everyone on This Train is a Suspect is a golden age style whodunit murder mystery that asks the question, how can you find a killer when all the suspects know how to get away with murder? How is this possible? Well, this murder mystery takes place at a crime writing festival aboard the Ghan train as it travels through the vast Australian desert. The main suspects are all crime writers confined to the train, and they all know how to commit and get away with murder because they've all researched how to do so for their books. Fun, witty, and clever, this whodunit murder mystery is just as entertaining as Benjamin Stevenson's first book, Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. I'd also like to add that Everyone This Christmas Has a Secret is a holiday special murder mystery novella with all the Christmas staples, presents, family, an impossible murder or two, and a deadly advent calendar of clues. The suspects are all professional tricksters, including a magician, which reminded me of the show Jonathan Creek. This novella is a witty and charming holiday read, especially since the detective learns the true meaning of the word Christmas. The 5th book on my list is End of Story by A.J. Finn. This is a story about Sebastian Trapp, a reclusive mystery novelist who is dying from kidney failure and only has a few months to live. Because of this, he invites a woman named Nikki Hunter into his San Francisco mansion to help draft his life story. Nikki is an expert in detective fiction, and she's a lifelong fan of Sebastian's work. Upon her arrival, Sebastian tells her, You and I might even solve an old mystery or two while we're at it. He is referring to the mystery surrounding his missing wife, Hope, and his missing son, Cole, who both disappeared 20 years ago. While Nicky is at the mansion digging into Sebastian's past and questioning whether he was responsible for his wife and son's disappearances, another murder occurs. So now there are 3 mysteries to solve. What happened to Hope Trap? What happened to Cole Trap? Who murdered the current victim? 3 mysteries in one, you will lose yourself in this elegant, mesmerizing, thought-provoking tale. Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera is number 6 on my list. Listen for the Lie is about a woman named Lucy Chase who returns to her hometown of Plumpton, Texas, to help solve her best friend Savvy's murder. It has been 5 years since Savvy was murdered, and Lucy remains the prime suspect. Although she has since moved to LA and started a new life, the true crime podcast Listen for the Lie has decided to investigate Savvy's murder for the show's 2nd season. Desperate for answers, even if it means discovering she's the one responsible for her best friend's death, Lucy reluctantly returns to Plumpton to finally learn the truth. An edgy, darkly humorous whodunit with a true crime storyline, this small-town murder mystery is an addictive page-turner. Number 7 on my list is The New Couple in 5B by Lisa Unger. This is a story about a young couple, Rosie and Chad Lowen, who inherit his uncle's luxurious apartment, worth roughly $5 million, in the historic Windermere Building in New York City. However, there's a dark and tainted history lurking behind the building's perfectly maintained facade, and the more Rosie learns, the more she realizes there's more to this apartment and its residents than meets the eye. The New Couple in 5B has all the feels of Ira Levin's Rosemary's Baby, Stephen King's The Shining, and Riley Sager's Lock Every Door. Set in an old yet elegant New York apartment building with a dark history, this domestic thriller is a spine-tingling must-read. The 8th book on my top 24 of 2024 list is Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh. Kill for Me, Kill for You is an exciting and suspenseful psychological thriller that explores the idea of one woman killing another woman's worst enemy and vice versa. What could possibly go wrong with that scenario? A lot. A lot could go wrong, and a lot does go wrong. This book will make your heart race, and it is so suspenseful, you will be at the edge of your seat, unable to turn the pages fast enough. It's that good. When the twists start coming, they don't stop. With a strangers on a train vibe and all the feels of a Hitchcockian thriller, Kill for Me, Kill for You is a skillfully crafted tale of revenge and what can go wrong when seeking it. How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen Perrin is the 9th book on my list. In 1965, while at an English country fair with her 2 best friends, a fortune teller makes a bone-chilling prediction for Frances Adams. One day, she will be murdered. Obsessed with this notion, Frances spends her life trying to solve a crime that hasn't happened yet. Although no one takes her seriously, the fortune teller's prediction proves true nearly 60 years later, when Frances is in fact found murdered. A prophecy of murder, a whodunit set in a quaint English village, a cast of quirky yet likable characters, and journal entries from the past that provide necessary details for solving the mystery. How to Solve Your Own Murder checked all the boxes for what I love in a book. Number 10 on my list is The Vacancy in Room 10 by Serafina Nova Glass. The Vacancy in Room 10 is about a woman named Anna Hartley who is searching for answers regarding her husband Henry's untimely death. Shortly before police found his dead body, he called Anna and made a shocking confession. Not fully believing what her husband admitted prior to his death, Anna checks into the Sycamores, a run-down motel turned apartment complex, where Henry rented an apartment that he used as an art studio. Upon garnering information from the eclectic mix of residents at the Sycamores, Anna begins questioning whether she knew Henry at all. When threatening letters begin appearing at her door, she must decide what's more important, pursuing the truth about her deceased husband or running for her life. A rundown motel in Santa Fe, a cast of quirky characters, and a suspicious death make this domestic thriller a twisty, entertaining read. The 11th book on my list is The Fellowship of Puzzlemakers by Samuel Burr. The Fellowship of Puzzlemakers is about a 25-year-old man named Clayton Stumper who was abandoned at birth on the steps of the Fellowship of Puzzlemakers, which is essentially a commune of eccentric people who love puzzles. Having been raised by the people in this commune, his world falls apart when the main maternal presence in his life, Pippa Allsbrook, passes away. Upon her death, however, she bestows a final puzzle on Clayton. The quest she sends him on promises to reveal the mystery of his parentage and the circumstances surrounding his birth, because this is something he would like the answers to. A beautiful story about friendship, family, and community. This charming tale takes readers on a unique journey of love, loss, joy, heartache, and puzzles. It will challenge your mind and warm your heart. Close to Death by Anthony Horowitz is number 12 on my list. The fifth book in his Hawthorne and Horowitz series, author Anthony Horowitz is once again a character in the book, working alongside Daniel Hawthorne, a consultant to the police who solves murders in present-day England. Close to Death is a classic whodunit that revolves around a gruesome murder in a gated community in one of the most desirable areas in London. When an obnoxious, inconsiderate, noisy neighbor moves into the once quiet and peaceful community, all the neighbors have reason to want him gone, and all have a motive for his murder. This complicates things, especially when his homicide investigation opens the door to lies, deception, and further death. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. In my opinion, author Anthony Horowitz is a literary magician who has perfected the art of misdirection. While you are closely watching the big plot on the front burner, another one is simmering on the back burner, and that's the one that's going to boil over and burn you because you're not paying attention to it. Take note of all the little details because I assure you, they add up to something big. Number 13 is Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. Darling Girls is about three women, Jessica, Nora, and Alicia, who were raised by their foster mother, Miss Fairchild, on a sprawling, whimsical country estate with horses and a swimming pool. But their childhood wasn't the fairy tale everyone thinks it was, which is ultimately why the three girls worked together to escape from Miss Fairchild. Even though they never saw her again, she was always lurking in the shadows of their minds. Now, 25 years later, when a body is discovered under the home they grew up in, the foster sisters find themselves in the spotlight as key witnesses. Or are they prime suspects? A gripping tale about the resilience of three foster sisters and the decades-old murder that binds them. This domestic thriller will leave you speechless. The Return of Ellie Black by Emiko Jean is number 14 on my list. The Return of Ellie Black is about a teenager living in Washington State who was found alive in the woods 2 years after she disappeared. However, her miraculous reappearance leaves investigators with more questions than answers, since she refuses to tell them the truth about where she's been for the last 2 years. Thankfully, Detective Chelsea Calhoun, whose own sister vanished 20 years ago, is relentless in her pursuit of answers. Stephen King described this book as, quote, a page-turning suspense novel, a shrewd character study, and a captivating mystery all at the same time. The last 50 pages are magnetic. I couldn't put it down until I'd experienced every last twist and turn. One Perfect Couple by Ruth Ware is number 15. In addition to being the title of the book, One Perfect Couple is the name of a new reality TV show that is going to be filmed on a deserted island in the Indian Ocean. Over the course of 10 weeks, 5 couples will compete against each other for a cash prize. Because it's an elimination-style show, one by one, the 10 contestants get whittled down to 1. A recoupling opportunity each week, along with various twists and turns along the way, promise to shake things up. And things definitely get shaken up, just not in the way you're probably expecting. All 5 couples arrive on the deserted island expecting to compete in a Love Island meets Survivor type reality TV show, but when a powerful storm prevents them from contacting the crew that brought them there, things spiral into Lord of the Flies territory, and it becomes a thrilling tale of survival and control. The Queen of Poisons by Robert Thorogood is number 16. The third book in Robert Thorogood's The Marlowe Murder Club cozy mystery series, Judith, Susie, and Bex investigate the murder of the mayor of Marlowe. Having died suddenly during a town council meeting with traces of aconite, the Queen of Poisons, in his coffee cup, the trio of women must work together to answer not just who killed the mayor, but also why was he killed and how did the killer get the poison into the mayor's coffee cup. Just like with most of Robert Thorogood's books and television shows, this isn't simply a question of who committed the crime, but it's also a question of how was it done. Number 17 on my list is A Talent for Murder by Peter Swanson. A Talent for Murder is the third book in Peter Swanson's Henry Kimball and Lily Kintner series. In this book, newlywed librarian Martha Ratliff suspects her husband might be a murderer. Desperate for answers, especially since there are 5 unsolved cases of murdered women in the cities he's visited over the past year, Martha reaches out to Lily Kintner, who uncovers something far more perplexing and wicked than they initially thought. Although this book is part of the Henry Kimball and Lily Kintner series, these 2 characters do not dominate the storylines. There are other things going on with other characters. Lily isn't mentioned until chapter 3, and Henry isn't mentioned until chapter 7. Nevertheless, author Peter Swanson has a knack for writing sociopaths really, really well. And since his plots are as unpredictable as his characters, you're in for a treat with this one. The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley is number 18. An atmospheric thriller with pagan folklore vibes, this story welcomes us to a celebration of the summer solstice during the opening weekend of a luxury resort called the Manor. Built in an ancient forest overlooking the Dorset coastline, pampered guests have access to soaring ocean views, emerald lawns stretching to the cliff edge, a dense forest with a woodland grotto, an infinity pool, morning meditation sessions, crystals for healing, fine drinks, and a restaurant that only serves locally grown organic food. Unfortunately, the locals view the manor as an intrusion into their woods and their community beach, so they're not happy about the new resort. There's also talk of the Nightbirds, an avenging force that rights wrongs and seeks retribution while eluding the law. Nevertheless, the local police are called on Sunday morning of opening weekend because there's been a fire and a body's been discovered. As we soon learn, everyone at the resort has an agenda, everyone has a past, but not everyone survives the Midnight Feast. Number 19 is Love Letters to a Serial Killer by Tasha Coriel. The first 2 parts of this book are about a woman named Hannah Wilson who sends love letters to an accused serial killer while he awaits trial. The third part of the book is about what occurs after he is acquitted. This is not a spoiler because this is disclosed on the book jacket. This is how the book jacket reads. An aimless young woman starts writing to an accused serial killer while he awaits trial, and then, once he's acquitted, decides to move in with him and take the investigation into her own hands. That's the story in a nutshell. Hannah Wilson is one of the most emotionally unstable, dysfunctional, neurotic protagonists I have ever read, which makes the story so engrossing I couldn't stop reading it. If you like crazy and deranged protagonists, then this is the book for you. Number 20 is Look in the Mirror by Catherine Steadman. After discovering she has inherited a state-of-the-art property in the British Virgin Islands, Nina is the proud owner of a 3,000 square foot vacation home of her dreams. With a terrace that wraps around the entire property and overlooks the crystal clear Caribbean Sea, an outdoor infinity pool, as well as an indoor pool in case it rains, and an interior design scheme nothing shy of modern, minimal, and luxurious, the house is everything Nina could have hoped for, except for the locked room. What's behind that door? Well, that's part of the mystery and the suspense. We Solve Murders by Richard Osman is number 21. We Solve Murders is a jet-setting, action-packed, cozy murder mystery filled with an eclectic mix of characters, including a private detective named Steve, a private security officer named Amy, a world-famous author named Rosie, and Francois Loubet, the world's biggest money smuggler. From New Forest, England to South Carolina to St. Lucia to Ireland to Dubai, this international thrill-ride adventure will keep you guessing until the very end. The Hitchcock Hotel by Stephanie Roble is number 22. Not just a murder mystery, but also a creepy suspense thriller set in a Hitchcock-themed hotel. This story invites us inside the celebration of the hotel's first anniversary. Alfred Smedel, who owns and manages the Hitchcock Hotel, a sprawling Victorian house in the White Mountains dedicated to the master of suspense, invites his 5 closest friends from his college film club for a weekend getaway/informal reunion. Alfred wants his friends to appreciate his creation and help him finish it. After all, no Hitchcock set is complete without a body. This jaw-dropping, sinister tale will keep you on the edge of your seat from the first page until the last. Number 23 is The Treasure Hunters Club by Tom Ryan. The Treasure Hunters Club is a murder mystery filled with pirate lore, secret societies, and lost treasure. Pile on a generous heaping of dark family secrets, unforgivable grudges, and well-crafted lies, and you have a thrilling adventure that makes this book a twisty, suspenseful read, especially when three strangers discover that there's more than just gold buried in the sand of Maple Bay, Nova Scotia. And finally, the 24th book on my list is The Blue Hour by Paula Hawkins. When a forensic anthropologist makes a startling claim about an art piece in a London art gallery, questions about the artist and her reclusive life come to light. Dark and unsettling, this atmospheric thriller is set on Ayres, an island off the coast of Scotland that only has one house, one inhabitant, one way out. Just like with her other books, the descriptive writing reads like poetry, and I think fans of Paula Hawkins will absolutely love The Blue Hour. And there you have it. Those are my 24 favorite crime fiction books of 2024. Please keep in mind that these are books I've read so far this year. If you think I missed one that should be on the list, put it in the comments and I will take a look. Until next time, take care, be well, happy reading, and Happy New Year.